Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. ECC Season 9. We have just seen the Champions Division games here on the A stream. But right now it is 8 CEST and it is time to move towards our highest, our best division, the Vortex division. It is round number 1, Seed 1 against Seed 2, Little Wamens against Seed 2 Willhaben. And I'm joined by Greybeard. Welcome.
Hey Dennis, how are you, man? What a so this is the big boy league, the very top, and yeah, number 1 up against number 2, the undefeated Wamens up against Willhaben, who haven't done too bad themselves, having only lost 2 games in league play. So I'm expecting a some high-paced Rocket League out there tonight. Pretty pumped.
Yeah, it should happen, right? You know, number 1, number 2, probably, you know, assumingly from league play, the best 2 teams. For all the teams here in the ECC playing, of course, in league play. Little Wamens have won 8 of their 9 games. They've lost the very first one, actually, which was a forfeit lose against Victory Esports. For TT Willhaben, well, they've won 7 of the games. Only lost 2, of course, from which one was against Little Wamens, I think in week number 5, or they lost with a 3 against 2, a close series back then, which of course was a best of 5 during league play. But in this playoff system, we are seeing a best of 7 here in the very first round of playoffs. Of course, it is a winner's bracket, so losing isn't a big deal. You will be moving to the lower bracket. But the winner of this match, of course, goes to the grand final. But not only that, they will also get a free game in advance already going into the grand final. So that's a pretty spicy advantage the winner of this series will get. But, you know, looking at these sides, you know, Little Wamens, they look like the strongest side. But TT Willhaben, they've showed it already, you know, in the German competitions. It is a pretty much all German side. Well, one Austrian player, I do think. They've shown it in the German leagues that they are capable of doing a lot. So it's going to be very interesting to see if TT Willhaben can actually make a good challenge against Little Wamens. Greybeard.
Well, looking at the record from league, of course, Wamens have got the great record of all those wins. But if we look at the individual games won versus games lost, there's only 1 game between them, 1 game difference, 15 difference for Wamens and 16 for Willhaben. So I think these teams look really, really close, and certainly they should be able to give Wamens a run for their money, not give them an easy ride through to the grand finals.
Of course, the very first place of the Vortex division will get at least 400 euros, and the second place will receive 200 euros. So, now winning this game already will give you a prize pool of at least 200 euros. So, a lot on the line here for both of these teams. As I do think we have all the players in the lobby, we're just gonna tell the players to go. And well, Greybeard, we have a very spicy matchup in front of us. The very first Vortex playoff game. Little Wamens against TT Willhaben. Take it away, Greybeard.
And you know, you can pretty much forget about league play. It's all now down to what happens here. You can have a fantastic record like Wamens have, and then you come out and you lose in the playoffs, because it's pretty much everything comes down to the next, well, if it goes to 7 games, 35, 40 minutes, the next hour or so is where they have to bring all that experience from the league to play right here, right now. And so far, no one flying out of the gate. We have a fairly even game sitting at the first 30 seconds. And the best of 7, you've been playing best of 5s all season. Best of 7, you've got to pace yourself into it. Rexo there just touching it away.
Oh, you puts it into the corner, cleared away here by Creamy. Tries to find Painy there as NKS pops it towards PZY. I think I'm pronouncing his name right, PZY. I'm just going to call him throughout the series as just PZY. LU off the wall. Tries to go all by himself. Creamy is up for that. Doesn't have much boost. Pops it towards his own backboard as now double tap here. As it was NKS trying to create the first goal of this series for TT Willhaben. Now on the backboard, it's a little bit pressure here from TT Willhaben. Little Wamens struggling to get out of their own half. Maybe it will be the first goal here from TT Willhaben. You know, good start, honestly. 3 shots already on the board in roughly 1 minute played in this game number 1. Big bomb here coming out on the back wall of TT Willhaben. It will not result into a goal, though. A scoreless game, but definitely a lot of action here already, Greybeard.
Yeah, and I think there's both of the teams to me look like they very quickly sort of, if there were any nerves or a little bit of rustiness, if you're not completely warmed up, they seem to have worked that out quite quickly, and we're seeing them get into their stride slowly, but still no team dominating. They're kind of cautious, keeping their rotations, keeping it tight at the back, and trying to find opportunities up front. Oh, Rexo off the crossbar and away. That was almost there for Wamens to get things underway for them.
We saw Creamy going for the flip reset. I thought he got it. I thought he would get an incredibly first goal of this series, but nonetheless, it was just not being able to get it in. Now we see Creamy still on the side. Penny with the demo. Penny with a shot as well. Not a great shot, does Elliot would just get it away. Approaching half-time, NKS in his own corner. Has a 100 boost, picks up the boost, but not the best touch from him. He needs to get the save. That will be PZY getting the save instead of the mistake from NKS. Now in the counter-attack, we might be seeing Willhaben going for a goal here. It will be taken over here by Creamy. Creamy to the right side, tries to find his teammate. Couldn't quite get it there. Creamy, no boost from the ceiling. Still gets a flick into the ball, though. PZY gets a really weak touch. Penny takes it over. PZY is still able to get it past Penny. Still goes on with 0 boost. Rexo in the corner, but it will be Creamy clearing it away. Now LU has to pop the ball towards the backboard. NKS into the same corner again. Penny will clear it to the side wall. Now Penny, what can he do with it? A good 50 here by LU. What can he do with it? Will be Rexo with the clear instead. Now we see Little Wamens trying to go for a goal here. No touch there by any Little Wamens side player, as now we see LU to the right side. PZY can get a shot in, but it's not powerful enough. They still scored this, you know. Some shots has been created, 6 shots actually by Little Wamens. Now a shot being created here, while not counted as a shot, just over the crossbar. 1.5 minutes to go, and still 0-0 here in game 1.
Yeah, but you feel like the Wamens goal isn't very far. They've had a long period of pressure, a little bit of breathing space here and there for Willhaben to get over to the other side, but it's all been Wamens for the last minute and a half at least, and you feel that the goal is not that far away. And now, PZY, by the way, I think I'm going to go with Peasy, but I might be wrong there. Now the shot, and finally against the run of play, Dennis! They're going to find a goal. They've been under so much pressure. They've had 1 or 2 opportunities, and now the pass into the middle. What a finish! And it is Willhaben that have the lead.
It's talking about PC, just on the moment of speaking, he got a really good fake, didn't get a second touch, and well, his opponent definitely thought he would get a second touch. He got an assist. Nonetheless, PC with the ball towards NKS, and NKS got the goal, 1 minute remaining. The very first goal of this best of 7 series is a fact here, of course, in the favor of TT Willhaben. 1 minute to go for Little Wamens to get back into this game. LU still gets it in, still gets it on his car. Not sure how. I think it has a 1-2 touch with his opponent. But, you know, in a matter of seconds, TT Willhaben goes from a scoreless game into 2 goals up.
And that was such an opportunistic goal, but Aliu doing so well to get it up front, and his pressure forward resulting in a bit of fortune, the bounce off the opponent's car landing right in front of him, and he could tap it in. And this is turning into a great game for Willhaben. After they absorbed so much pressure, Dennis, I can't believe Wamens didn't score during that time. It just felt any second their goal was going to come. And now they look up at the scoreboard and they go, how's this happen? How are we 2 goals behind?
Yeah, 2 goals behind. And well, in the corner now, it has to be Little Wamens coming out with their half now. 18 seconds to go. They desperately are looking for 2 goals in this game. One Creamy going up for this, trying to go for the shot. NKS will block it off, as we see PSI going into the middle. Pass towards his teammate off the crossbar though. A great opportunity again by the orange side, but it will not matter. They are 2 goals up. They have won this game 1 Greybird. Well, even though Little Wamens, it looked like they were, you know, the strongest side in this game 1, was still TT Willhaben, you know, being the better side in finishing the chances, being better accuracy, having better accuracy, I have to say. And TT Willhaben taking this game 1, you know, quite still a convincing fashion. 2-goal lead, no goals for Little Wamens, a clean sheet for TT Willhaben, so a really decent game to start off the series with.
Yeah, and you know, I suppose we can't read too much into the first game of a best of 7. But Little Wamens, I think, will be irritated because they were looking good, and you know, recycling that rotation in offense, spending so much time in Willhaben's half and not being able to cross over. Exactly the same number of shots per side. Only Willhaben were able to score, and it doesn't matter. You don't even have to be the best team out here. You just got to have more goals than the others, and Willhaben have done it. They're, early on at least, are giving Wamens a run.
Well, they definitely are here. Of course, game 5 in league play, we can already see, Little Wamens, even though being the first seed in this playoff system, it's definitely not over for all the other teams, especially here for TT Willhaben, who definitely do make a good shot of, creating a good challenge against the Little Wamens side. Game 1 done and dusted, going 2-0 in favor of TT Willhaben, but everything could change here in game 2. Kickoff, Sai already takes it up to the back wall, and the ball falls into the middle. LU tries to go for a shot here. Early pressure already here from TT Willhaben. Creamy missing the touch here. A double commit coming out. NKS needs to get it again here. Gets it towards the side wall again. Paney looking the ball into the middle. Rexo, can he go for the shot? A whiff there from the defender from the orange side, as it will be an early goal for Little Wamens.
Wow, Rexo doing fantastic health. The work from Paney, but what set that up was the double commit in the midfield between Peasy and his teammate. They went up, threw themselves completely out of possession, and once they lost possession, it was a struggle to get back and try and defend it. But it is Little Wamens. They take advantage of the mistake, and they take, well, their first goal. They weren't able to score at all in that first game, so that'll settle their nerves. That'll make them feel a little bit more confident and push the game back to Willhaben.
Sawyer with a good shot, gets it into the bottom corner as a really good placement, as it is an equalizer definitely needed here by the TT Willhaben. 2 players in the goal of Little Wamens, and definitely did not think, even with the placement, the ball could have gone in, but still TT Willhaben early equalizer here, only 40 seconds in. Well, last game, it took a while until we saw the very first goals on the board. That time, 2 goals from TT Willhaben, and already 2 goals on the board in, well, under a minute played. But this time, not just by TT Willhaben, but a 1-all scoreline here. Little Wamens also got a goal, but it will be TT Willhaben, just equalizing a few 10 seconds ago. Now Creamy going all by himself, trying to go for an edge, but trying to go for a dunk possibly off the backboard here. Sai has a little bit of time to work with. What can he do with it? Goes for the wave that's into the 50. We see LU going up for this, going for the shot possibly. Bounces off the backboard. As Creamy has a bit of time to work with. Sai goes up for this. It will be 1-0 scoreline still, Greybird, as both of these teams are still looking to get that second goal for their team here in game 2.
Yeah, very open game though. Not a lot of close quarter combat. Booming clears down, attempts to kind of control and push forward in some controlled manner, and then dispossess. The other team gets it. It's fairly open, very even right now. It's kind of tightened up, and it's become the sort of game I was expecting and hoping we'd see. There's no clear dominating team. Both of these guys, these players from either team, believe that they can take this game and take it down. And oh, but look at this from Creamy. Little Wamens, they're like, yeah, you know what, we're the #1 seed team, but look at this read from Rexo, the follow on that out of the corner, setting it up for Creamy. Lovely play, and they take the lead again.
Yeah, really powerful shot, honestly, Creamy. It's quite hard to, get that much power behind the ball from there, but still, it is a Vortex player. Creamy, we have seen him in previous ECC seasons already. We know how good of a player he is, actually. Of course, a really good player from Denmark. And, well, Creamy going for another shot here, going for the other goal, gets his second of the match, as Little Wamens up by 2. They had an early goal with TT Willhaben, but equalized quite fast. But this time, Little Wamens finally have a decent lead in game 2.
Yeah, and they look like they have now warmed up, and they're settling into their game plan very nicely. And this could be danger signs for TT Willhaben if they can continue, if Little Wamens can continue what we've seen from them in pretty much the last minute and a half. And here they come again. Creamy will pop it past the last defender and find the corner. And now suddenly they're looking incredibly dangerous, Dennis.
Yeah, Creamy with the hat-trick, actually. 3 goals on his name, not even half-time played. Well, TT Willhaben, everything that we have seen in the very first game from them, nothing from that is left here in game 2, actually. Probably it's going to be the game for Little Wamens here. Definitely if they can score this one. Creamy yet again with the shot, but it will be half-time here. Not a 4th goal for Creamy, but man, he is having an outstanding game here in game 2. He's scoring pretty much all the goals here for Little Wamens. He's having 4 shots, 3 goals, you know, everything you could expect. LU go for the air dribble though, tries to get a dunk. A Creamy, not just in offense, but also in defense, makes his worth for Little Wamens. A great player already here seeing in game 2.
Oh, I love how Little Wamens are finding so much time on the ball, and I don't know if it's because they're not being shut down quick enough by Willhaben, but it seems like they've got so much time to set things up. And Willhaben, I'm going to have to shut them down a lot closer, but there's a double commit here, but it might still be a goal, but no. Peasy will get it away, and now they're struggling to rotate back into position. Can Willhaben do something with this? It's high and loose in front, and you can't get to it, and Rexo will make sure that there's no more immediate danger, although there is still pressure. Creamy getting it away again. Okay, now they seem to be reset, and here they come forward for another attack on the Willhaben goal.
Yeah, Rexo had an opportunity there. Definitely a demo from one of his teammates could help to open up the way towards the goal of TT Willhaben, but nonetheless, it will just stay with 4 goals. It's just, you know, definitely something that, you know, Little Wamens, they just don't even need to score anymore at this point, unless we can see a goal here. But it's saved here by Rexo. He denies the second goal for TT Willhaben as the clock slowly ticks down for TT Willhaben. They look like they have no single grip on in this game. Definitely a much harder game than they had in game number 1. This game number 2 is a much different run, way more dominant here by Little Wamens. Definitely something we needed to see from them. Of course, seed number 1, they've pretty much, you know, won every league play game. Double tap here by Payne, he couldn't quite get it into the goal. Demo from NKS on Creamy. But now see Ayu with the pass into the middle. Maybe they can get 1 back. Now NKS, what can I do with it? Pops the ball up to the backboard. Not winning it though. LU tries to go for the 50, but you know, it really looks like they are struggling to get that pressure on Little Wamens. They, you know, something they did in game 1 was just, you know, being very accurate. And in this game, we have definitely not seen that at all. And Little Wamens, you know, they were quite accurate. 4 goals in just 1 game, and only 1 goal here for TT Willhaben.
It's been amazing to see how Little Wamens have warmed into this. It was a very close game up until about 2 minutes 40, there or thereabouts, and NKS will get 1 back. It's probably, well, I'm going to say it is too little, too late. They're still going to find themselves 2 goals behind. But Little Wamens, they've gotten better and better, and by the halfway stage, the score was 4-1. And this is the first goal we've seen in about 2.5 minutes of Rocket League. But Little Wamens weren't pushing really to score. They were just pushing to control the game, and it was amazing to see how well they did that. They knew they'd done enough. Now they just wanted to keep as much possession as possible, keep the ball away from Willhaben, and get them chasing it, snatching at it. They controlled that really, really well. And if they continue in this vein, Willhaben are going to struggle. They're going to have to change things up to counter what Little Wamens are currently bringing to the game.
Yeah, and you're talking about those tactics Little Wamens have used, and you know, I love to see that, you know, here in the Vortex division, the highest division of the ECC, you can see those tactics being in place here by Little Wamens. You know, trying to control the ball when needed to, trying to, you know, pressure in offense when needed to. You know, you see that kind of stuff a lot, you know, in sports like football, basketball, but in Rocket League, you don't really see that often. You know, you see just, you know, teams just going for the balls, trying to make goals as soon as possible. But, you know, that control play like Little Wamens did in the second half of game number 2, they had a 3-goal lead. So why push everything forwards? They controlled the ball really well in midfield. You know, prevented TT Willhaben from coming out with a counter attack. Of course, you see that a lot when you are 3 goals up. You see the Little Wamens, or well, a team that is 4-1 up, being you know, a little bit, you know, in defense, being stuck in defense, just waiting pretty much for the opponents to come back. But that's definitely something Little Wamens did not do in that game. Of course, they won the game in the end with 4-1 as well. Now here, game 3, Greybird, it is 1-1 here. Of course, TT Willhaben winning game 1 and Little Wamens winning game 2. So, well, do you have any prediction? Of course, it will be the game that puts you in the lead in the series.
Well, I think based on that last game, I mean, all the momentum right now, of course, is with Little Wamens. And just if they continue that, I think they're going to be very tough to beat. So an early prediction, I do think Little Wamens are going to take it. However, Willhaben, clearly no slouch as a team, and they've certainly got ability and capability within there. And if they can, they've got to shut down the ball a lot quicker and not allow Wamens so much time on the ball. We saw them giving them space in the last game, and they've got to shut that down and shut it down quickly. So I do think they're capable of coming back and taking it, but I'm not sure we're going to get to a game 7. So my early feeling is little Wamens.
I think I have to agree with you there. Although we all see some pressure coming from TT1, but Creamy will just clear the way for now, though. All the way towards the opposite backboard. And is going for the flick. He gets it past his opponent, gets another touch here. Really good 50. Still keeps on going. No boost to work with, as it will be Side getting the ball into the middle. It will be LU not getting any contact with the ball, though. But NKS will get the first goal for TT. Willhaben did not see him coming into the air, but Side in the end with the ball towards LU. LU with the 50, and NKS in the end with the finish.
Yeah, lovely forward movement, team play in that coordination going forward there. That was excellent. And it's interesting to see with every goal that's scored in a Rocket League game, if you go back far enough, you find the point where the play kind of turned in. A little bit earlier, about 8 seconds earlier, Rexo had gone up for a high mid-air 50, which he missed, and it kind of threw out the rotations, and the opportunity opened up for Willhaben, and they took that opportunity. Another one opening here, but Creamy getting a fantastic clear around the corner to possibly set up a counter, but Aliu's having none of it. Gets it back into the blue corner. Here comes Pizzi. What can he do with this? Now Rexo's going to get it out. But so far, we see Willhaben doing what they needed to do, which was to come out aggressively and looking to shut down the ball as quickly as possible. And they've got that lead. Now they got to hang on to it, and that's got to be their top priority. Don't concede now.
And that is something Little Wamens did really well in Game 2. Now the question is, can TT Willhaben do that same thing here in Game 3? Maybe even extend the lead here, but it will be saved by Rexo. Penny going for the ball towards the back, but a whiff here could be vital, almost a save, but Creamy will still get it in. Yeah, you're talking about, can they keep that lead? Well, the answer to that is definitely a no. A big whiff coming out in defense. Almost recovers those side, nearly getting a save, but Little Wamens still equalizing Game 3.
We've all been there, Dennis. You go up for a ball, as Pizzi was doing there, and you reach a point, you go, uh-oh, I know I've messed up here, and your heart is in your mouth, and you just hope the opponent's going to miss, but they weren't going to miss that, and we have a level game, and now Willhaben have to start their work all over again. Now they have to push a little harder to try and regain that lead. They can't just try and hold on to that slender one-goal lead that they had. They've given that away. Now they've got to get right back into it. They might lose it here. Rexo down off the crossbar, but the pressure continues to build. Can they make it count now? We saw them do this in Game 1 and not being able to score. Lots of pressure, no goals. 1 minute 40 remains, and we're pretty even here in what is now a best of 5.
Yeah, most certainly, definitely. The team that wins here, of course, puts themselves one up in the series. Could go to win next one and go into match point, but we're not that far yet. It is an all even scoreline here. Both of these teams definitely could take it. Some pressure from TT Willhaben, and the ball bounces towards Spady. This ball now saw into the middle. Creamy to the bottom corner actually. Well, no defender in the net, but it was a really good play shot. Again, Creamy with yet another goal so far. Outstanding performance by him. Really good placing by him as well. NKS was just a little late, but we will be Little Wamens being up by 1 goal.
Yeah, I think PC looking for the pass across to NKS, but it was, I think he telegraphed that, easily read, easily cut out in the open net. Found, and it is Little Wamens with the lead, and this is not great news for Willhaben. From what we saw in the last game, once Wamens have a lead, they're pretty good at locking it down and shutting out the opponents. A mistake here from NKS. Pizzi cleans up, but the pressure is too much. Rexo will find the net, and now, after a long period of a relatively easy game, and in fact, with Willhaben in the lead for so long, they're 2 goals behind in 50 seconds to find a way back.
Yeah, and well, great, but it comes down to these small mistakes, in defense on TT Willhaben. Really, if you make one of these mistakes, you're playing on, bubble level, the Vortex level, you're playing against, which is possibly the best team in the ECC. You can't make those mistakes. Well, they get one back, though. No player in goal for a Little Wamens side. as we see LU getting the ball into the goal. Quite an easy goal for him, just puts the ball into the open net. But they have 37 seconds, 1 goal to make to send this game to a possible OT. Do they have it in them to get one more goal?
Well, they've given themselves the best chance after having given up a lead. They're going to find one in 30 seconds. Certainly doable, but they're going to find their form as a team to what led up to that first goal. NKS now will pop it up, gets it past one, but Rexo's having none of it. He gets in front, gets it away, but here it comes back almost immediately. Aliu going for a bump, a demo, anything in front of net to try and open the scoring lane. PZ! Oh, and they will get it with 15 seconds to go. PZ and NKS teaming up there to find the back of the net.
And they did that so well. Infoot pass to NKS, and NKS getting the third for TT Willhaben as well. Little Wamens, well, this game, they can't, keep the lead. They had a 3-1 lead in this game. It is 3-0. I talked about a possible OT, but it comes closer and closer. Unless we can see a winner still in the upcoming 7 seconds of this game. On a bounce towards the corner. Rexo will put the ball into the side. Rexo now off the ground, actually. No player pain, he couldn't quite get it. So can he do something here? Tries to go for the bump. Back Raybeard. It is overtime. It is game 3. It's all square here. 1-all in series. 3-0 here in this game. It's overtime. It can't get any closer than this.
Yeah, and I'm so pleased to see how Willhaben have come back into this. They gave up the lead, went 2 behind, but they found a way, and that's going to give them massive confidence. And now we're into the golden goal of overtime here in game 3. And if Willhaben can take this, then I have to change the prediction I had, where it was looking to me like an easy win for Little Wamens. But I think Willhaben might still be able to create an upset, but no, Dennis Rexo is going to break their hearts. What a play.
Rexo with the flip reset gets it into, the top half of the goal as well. Oh my word, that is outstanding winner here by Little Wamens. In OT, Rexo does it all by himself. Flip reset, pass out the players. A Little Wamens in the end with the 2 goals from Rexo, with the 2 goals from Creamy. Will take it still in the end. Even though TT Willhaben had a really good comeback, it was not enough. It was enough to get it into OT, but that overtime was not enough. Little Wamens got an overtime with a really, really good goal and will get themselves one more game in this series. 2-1 up now in this series, Greybeard. As it will, TT Willhaben, it will be a little bit harder for them. They won game 1, but now they've lost the 2 games after that.
Yeah, well, firstly, that goal from Rexo was, gosh, it was so good and deserving to be a game winner. And I think that's a very tough loss for Willhaben because they took the lead, gave it up, 2 goals behind, and then they fought back and so close, 15 seconds from the end, they level it up, and you felt the momentum was with them. And I think it was such an important psychologically for them to win the game, and then they lose it to that epic individual goal. And that mentally is a tough thing to overcome. But they've got all the work to do. You don't reach the very top of any professional sport, certainly not in Rocket League, without having to figure out how to dig yourself out of a hole. And this is their opportunity to figure it out now.
Well, we're going to see if TT Willhaben have it in them to beat Little Wamens here in game 4. Otherwise, we will be seeing Little Wamens going into match point in game 5. Game 4 on the way here. As we see Little Wamens, 1 game lead, a 2-1 series score. Here now, the early pressure here. Payne tries to get into the goal here off the post. LU, little bit awkward here, still goes to the side. Creamy challenges him, but early pressure already by the Little Wamens side. Not sure how that not resulted into a goal. 20 seconds in, and TT Willhaben already has been warned by the Little Wamens side here.
Yeah, Willhaben under pressure here. Little Wamens, and NK's got some work to do in front of the net. Yeah, the pressure's been pretty intense. These first 30 seconds, all belonging to Little Wamens. They want to break the spirit of Willhaben as soon as possible, because you don't want a team having hope or having the idea they can come back. So Little Wamens are going to want to take 1, 2, 3 goals as early as possible and just put mentally Willhaben out of the game. But here we go. There's number 1. Payne will get goal number 1 on the stroke of the first minute from his side, from his goal line, the clear off the backboard, and an easy tap in. No one from Willhaben able to rotate back in time. And the hill they've got to climb just got a little steeper, Dennis.
Yeah, it looks like Little Wamens, they have a tactic in just, banging the ball forwards towards the opposition backboard, which actually works really well. We have seen TT Willhaben, their defenders are struggling quite a lot to, get the ball from the backboard. Flip reset it by side though, almost getting the equalizer. Would be, a really good goal as well. Again here, with the flip reset onto the other goal nonetheless. But, 1 minute in, a 1-goal lead here for Little Wamens. Of course, almost being equalized by Sai. Sai needs to get it out though. What is he doing? Sai will not get it out. And going from 0 to 0, Little Wamens up by 2.
Yeah, the touch there, I think Sai not realizing late that he wasn't going to get to it and couldn't turn quick enough to get back to defend that. So not the sort of goal you want to let in. You see the individual brilliance of Rexo at the overtime in the last game with that goal. And then you see that, and that was all just a defensive mistake. Maybe they get one back. Oh, what a save from Paney. But the pressure's still there. It's floating around the goal line. No one from Willhaben can get on the end of it and make that ball push it over the goal line.
Oh, great, but I've counted that goal already. It was 95% in, if not even more. But then, the defender from Little Wamens, I think it was Paney, coming out of nowhere, inside of the goal, and getting that ball out of the goal. Really good save there, as now it will be Little Wamens going into the offense, trying to go for a third goal, possibly Paney into the corner, trying to get a ball into the middle maybe. It will be blocked off here by NKS. But I have to say, this Little Wamens, looking like the better side overall, having the most pressure, although here we see Sai going for the shot. But every shot TT Willhaben would be saved by Little Wamens look more controlled, look more, composed as well. As we all seen TT Willhaben just making a few more mistakes and also not being able to convert their chances. Although Creamy here still gets the save, but a really good shot from Sai. Just not enough to beat the Little Wamens defense.
To me, Little Wamens looking like they did in that second game when they took the 3-goal lead. And then they just look to slow it down a little bit and just keep possession, control the play, keep the ball away from Willhaben. And they're doing something similar right now. And it's working so well. And the longer it goes on, the more Willhaben are going to chase the game. And the more they chase the game, the easier it is to play that cat and mouse game. And it becomes very frustrating. And we see it's working so well so far. They're holding on to that 2-goal lead, 1:40 to hang on. And Willhaben just can't find a way through yet.
Yeah, everything that they are trying, it's just not really working against this Little Wamens side. Here now, Sai doesn't really have the boost to do something, just goes for a single hit, but that's just not enough to beat the Little Wamens 3-man defense. NKS on the side has the boost to work with. Looks like they are all boosted. Sai will still get it out, but again, just one touch, no follow-up, because all the players from TT Willhaben are boost starved. Now a hit, no, it will be whiffed here by the TT Wamens side there. It's all falling apart from them. Maybe this one goes in as well. No, NKS will still get the save. But the 2-goal lead still stands here for Little Wamens. Little Wamens have all control on this game so far. And we pretty much have seen nothing from TT Willhaben. Just a few shots, but all the shots have been defended away by the Little Wamens side. Now another shot coming in, it will be a save for NKS. I don't know how many saves, well 3 saves only actually, just for NKS, but definitely it looks like a lot more. TT Willhaben just being stuck in defense for pretty much 2 minutes straight now as well. That shouldn't be happening. Of course, there are 2 goals down. Maybe this will be advantage for them. A demo coming in. Sai will get the goal as they finally will get 1 goal back, 29 seconds to go, and that's definitely something they needed.
Well, Little Wamens they were so in control of this game. And finally, a little bit of a clutch play there. The physical demo coming out and opening up that scoring lane. We've seen them score in the last 30 seconds. They did it with 15 seconds to go in game 2, I think, game 3, whenever that was. So they're going to have to do it here, because if they go 2 games behind, the road back is so hard. But now they got 12 seconds and possessions in the wrong team. Little Wamens just looking to hold on into the middle to Rexo. Rexo just popping it up high, burning a few more seconds. But now, last opportunity for Willhaben. As soon as the ball bounces, which it will do now, Little Wamens will take it. And they are looking like well, In that game, I think, Dennis, we saw why Little Wamens have had such success during the league play. They're a really good team, and when they find their groove and they've got a 1 or 2 goals up, man, they're good at just then controlling it and keeping the ball away from their opposition, which just makes them very frustrated. Played really, really well, and we've seen 2 examples of it, and I think that's going to make them really tough to overcome.
Yeah, definitely. Match points here for Little Wamens. CT Willhaben are 2 games down. 3-1 is the scoreline here in the series. As we head into game number 5, I believe it is. Possible, you know, it's gonna end after this game, unfortunately, because I have to say I really like this series. It's a lot of offense, especially by Little Wamens. We can see, of course, like you mentioned already, why they are the seed number 1 going into playoffs, why they, you know, are on an 8-win streak in league play and trying to continue that here. Kickoff already goes into their favor. It will not be a goal. TT Willhaben, it's their game to win, Graybird. Let's just see if they can produce something else than they did in the last game.
Yeah, Willhaben are going to have to step up a gear. The full throttle, no holding back. They've got to pull off the best of 5 reverse sweep. Oh, my word, the physical player might open up an opportunity for Little Wamens. But Willhaben, they want to get that first goal, and I think they've got to do whatever they can to make that happen.
30 seconds in as LU tries to create something here. Rexo into the corner, though, trying to go for the first goal of this game 5. Pressure is still here. LU has a free clear. Gets that one straight after, though. And the ball bounces from the side wall. It will be picked up here by Sai as Rexo puts the ball towards the opposite corner. NKS to Sai. Sai into the middle. That's what we want to see. LU now takes the ball on by himself. Doesn't get the ball into the middle. Infoot pass coming out, but it will not be any threat here for the opposite side. Little Wamens had just a player there to block off the pass, and that's something they're doing really well, just preventing TT Willhaben of getting, you know, in their play, of, you know, using their play style, and definitely something, you know, also, you know, high level players are capable to do, you know, being able to not just dominate your opposition, but also being able to deny them on just playing their own game. We see TT Willhaben trying to go for a lot of infield passes, but every time the infield passes are getting blocked there by the Little Wamens defense.
Well, Willhaben have done much better in the last minute to keep pressure, to start building up some pressure on Little Wamens. They've got to make it count now. NKS's shot is blocked, but they've kept it in the blue half for the most part, and they've had a little bit of defensive work to do. NKS having more to do there. They're looking to bring it back in. They've not made their pressure counter. Now it looks like Little Wamens are breaking down that pressure and pushing them back toward their own goal line, building pressure on their own. Yes, definitely, that period of pressure is over. But a miss. Oh, look at this, Paney. It looked like a mistake from Little Wamens high in the air, but it turns into a goal. The miss from Creamy, I think, flummoxed everybody, and Paney taking advantage. 1-0 to Little Wamens.
Yeah, I believe a bump also helped there in the goal of TT Willhaben, but yet again a lead here for the Little Wamens side. But it bounces from the side here into the middle. A shot coming in by Sai, but it's a great save though by Creamy. Half time to go, and we see TT Willhaben not being able to score for quite some time now. Last game, they also had some struggles, you know, in the late game to score against the against the Little Wamens side. Them coming out here from Paney on NKS. Also this game, half time left, they haven't really been able to score, not even, you know, being able to create some great chances. Well, they just had one, which was just saved by Creamy. But so far, Little Wamens 1-goal lead. They look like they have control of this game again. Of course, they are the ones being a match point here in game 5.
Man, Willhaben must be thinking, what do we need to do? We had such good pressure, we couldn't find a way through. Then we get this amazing shot, and then they come out with the clutch save. Oh, it's off the back wall. NKS finally will find a way through for TT Willhaben. They are back into this, and that was such an important goal to keep them in it. So it's not over yet. It's pretty damn close, Dennis, but not over yet.
Definitely not. It is close to over as Little Wamens still look like they have control of this game and they are in match point. But it is TT Willhaben scoring the equalizer. Yeah, they will be really delighted to get that equalizer. But 1 minute 40 seconds on the clock. You know, see LU leaves it for NKS. NKS, what can he do with it? Creamy tries to go still with air dribble. So LU goes by himself, tries to pop the ball down, goes for a 50. Penny wins at 50 though. The ball is still onto the side. Side can't get a hit there. No boost to work with. Rexo on the backboard tries to control the ball here. LU with the 50 here. Won by Rexo though. Even though he was flying, still got a good 50. Penny, not the pinch he wanted. Still goes to the side. Creamy goes for the hit. Penny with a really good shot. Will get the second for Little Wamens. And TT Willhaben have 1 minute and 14 seconds to still score one more goal. But Little Wamens, they look like they're set to take this series.
Yeah, nice link-up work there. Penny to Creamy, back to Penny. Penny finishes it off. Nice work, and again, they're looking strong. And any opportunities that TT Willhaben are having right now, it's kind of scrappy. They're just looking to, like, make something work. It's not going forward with a plan, link-up play, what we've seen from them from time to time without the series. They just want to try and snatch one goal back and even it up. But look at this. Payne's going to get a hat-trick. And he's the silent assassin here again. Work from Creamy, the attempted clear from Aliu. Rexo to the middle. Payne with the finish. What a team play. And Little Wamens look like they are marching forward, Dennis, to the grand final.
Grand final, which of course will be up tomorrow at 8 CEST. And most likely it will be Little Wamens playing in the grand final with a 1-game advantage here coming out of the winners bracket. 37 seconds to go though if TT Willhaben wants to get a spot into the grand final coming out of the winners bracket as well. Penny waves the ball here, just try to go for a redirect, I think. Sai still on the side wall, pressure still from Little Wamens. Is this gonna be 4? No, it will still be 3, so chance here. 1% chance, but still a chance here for TT Willhaben if they can produce something here. Sai off the side wall, pops the ball into the middle. Penny will take it over off the side wall again. LU missing the ball here, yet another whiff. As we see all the whiffs coming out of TT Willhaben, but they are the ones who need to score. Shot coming in, but Rexo will be able to save the ball. It is a 3-1 scoreline. It will be also a 3-1 scoreline in the series, which will be 4-1. In just a bit, Little Wamens winning game 5 with a 3-against-1. And of course, winning this series after all. They are the ones who are going to the grand final. And we will be seeing TT Willhaben in a bit because they're going to the lower bracket, Gabriel.
Wow, so the first game seems a long time ago where Willhaben were looking great. They had kind of figured out, it seemed like they'd figured out this Little Wamens team, and they were going to push them hard. But ever since the start of game 2, Little Wamens have just pulled ahead and kept themselves ahead. And we see why they've had so much success in league play. Their success continues here. They go through to the grand finals. Of course, it's not over. TT Willhaben will go duke it out, and they will be looking to win that lower bracket and fight their way back into the grand final for a rematch with the #1 seed. But we will see how they do on that journey a little later. But first, we're going to have the lower bracket of seeds 3 and 4 coming up next to see who will go forward to play TT Willhaben.